Good evening, and thank you for joining us for Columbus Regional's 30th Annual Tree Lighting Ceremony and Celebration of Life. My name is Beth Parsons, and I am the president of the Medical Center Auxiliary. It gives me great pleasure to see so many of you here. We are very fortunate to have such great support from our community each year. We're also thrilled to have our friends and colleagues from Doctors Hospital and Houston Hospital here to help us celebrate Columbus Regional's annual tree lighting ceremony. You'll see in your program that once the tree is lit this evening, Jamie Horton, there she is, will lead the procession up to our conference center for the Celebration of Life party and reunion with graduates and high-risk nursery staff. But first, I would like to welcome a man who has been a long-time champion of our Tree of Light and a dear friend, Mr. Lance Duke, Executive Vice President and COO of Columbus Regional and President and CEO of the Medical Center.
Let me thank Beth and start out by thanking our wonderful auxiliary, the volunteers that give their time so selflessly. They provide smiles and support, and they are busy at work in the conference center as we speak, taking care of folks who are arriving for the annual reunion that we hold for the neonatal intensive care unit graduates. So we're thrilled you're all here. Isn't it a glorious evening for a tree lighting ceremony? A wonderful night. Last year it was a lot colder than this year, so we're very pleased with the weather, and we thank you all for being here. As Beth said, this is our 30th annual tree lighting ceremony, and for us at Columbus Regional Healthcare System, this truly is the kickoff to the holiday season. So we're thrilled you're all here this evening to help us celebrate, and we thank you and all those who help support the lighting of the tree this evening. Each light on the tree represents a contribution in honor or memory of someone, and all of the funds that are raised as a result of the tree lighting this evening go to support the smallest of our patients, the neonatal intensive care unit. And here at Columbus Regional Healthcare System, we're thrilled to be the region's provider in high-risk and perinatal services, and we have many of our clinical staff here this evening. You'll have opportunity to see and talk with and meet some of our great nursing staff, our respiratory care staff, pharmacy staff, other clinical support staff, and I've seen at least 3 of our 4 neonatologists, and they may all 4 be here. I see Dr. Resnick kind of raising his hand over here. I saw Dr. Lewis Levy, our medical director, kind of over in this vicinity. Saw Dr. Chen, the newest member of the Neonatology Associates Group. I didn't see Dr. Levine, but I suspect he may be taking care of patients or could be close by here. But again, we want to thank all those clinical professionals who dedicate their professional lives to taking care of, again, the smallest of our patients. Over the 30 years of the lighting of the tree and the Tree of Light ceremony, this fundraising effort has raised over $400,000 for the support of the neonatal intensive care unit. Again, we want to thank our auxiliary and all the auxiliary members for their support, for their volunteer efforts, and all of their activities around raising money for the Tree of Lights. I want to take just a moment and thank the Bob Barr Band for warming us up this evening for their great music. Let's give them a nice round of applause and thank them again. Always starts the holidays off terrifically. We also want to thank Mark Montgomery and the Clubview Elementary School, our partner in education, the great chorus that was here this evening. Several of the students are children of some of our staff here, so we're appreciating them being here. Let's give them a nice warm round of applause as well. And we always appreciate Country's Barbecue's support. They're here this evening providing hot chocolate to warm us up on a cool but not too cold evening. And I see off in the distance Scott Ressmeyer. Scott, a true friend of children in this entire region, raising money for Children's Miracle Network. And Scott is dutifully out dispensing hot chocolate with his really cool hot chocolate dispensing backpack. So if you haven't gotten hot chocolate from Scott Ressmeyer from Country's Barbecue, I suspect he's making his way around. And it's great for us to talk about the facilities and the services that we provide in the neonatal intensive care unit, the dedicated professionals, volunteers, and support staff. But we think it's more important to put a real name and face to the stories that you hear. To do that this evening, we have really a special family. We have Jamie and Toby Horton, who are here this evening to share their story of premature twins who were born about 10 weeks too early. And I'm going to ask Toby if she would come up and share her story with all of you. Excuse me, Jamie. Jamie and Toby are both going to come up. Jamie's going to do the talking. Toby made it clear. Jamie's going to do all the talking here this evening. They're going to bring the twins up, and we also want to welcome up Taylor Grace, their oldest daughter. Taylor Grace is going to come up as well and stand up here by the podium. She's shaking her head no, but I'm going to try to coax her into doing that, and she's going to play a very special role in our activities here this evening in just a few minutes. But if you would just pause a moment and listen to what I think you'll find is a truly touching story. So, Jamie, if you would come on up to the microphone.
Thank you.
Let's welcome them up here, please.
Good evening, everyone. We are happy to be here tonight to share our story with you. I'm Jamie. This is my husband, Toby. Our daughter, Taylor's hiding over there. I have Tyler in my arms, and Toby has Tanner. We were the proud parents of Taylor Grace and decided around the summer that we were ready to expand our family. We knew we wanted to have one more, but Taylor Grace insisted that we were going to have 2 babies. After a lot of coaxing, she relented and agreed to having a little brother. A few weeks later, and much to our surprise, we found out that we were having identical twins, and Taylor Grace got her wish. My pregnancy was very much normal until I reached 28 weeks. I had some minor complications and was placed on bed rest. Little did we know that our world was about to be turned upside down. I went in for a routine doctor's appointment and ultrasound, and unexpectedly I was told that we had to deliver the twins. 45 minutes later, Tyler Garrett was born, weighing 3 pounds and 8 ounces, and Tanner Griffin was born, weighing 3 pounds and 1 ounce. They were 10 weeks early. Many of us here tonight have walked down the same path. Premature births can affect anyone. I was not able to see my babies for several hours after delivery, and I didn't get to hold them for a few days after that. Your babies are supposed to be healthy. You're supposed to be able to hold them and feed them and change them. All of those things we took for granted. We had never seen a neonatal intensive care unit, and just the sight of our babies lying there in their incubators with wires attached to them and not being able to touch them was something that no parent should have to go through, let alone see. You feel absolutely helpless. We knew immediately that we were in for a long and emotional journey. The following morning, the nurses told us that Tanner was a pistol. He'd been pulling out his ventilator tubes all night, but Tyler wasn't doing so well. He had a blood vessel that didn't close like it should have and was being treated with medication, and luckily he responded to that. Walking out of the hospital 5 days later was the longest journey that we've ever endured. There were a lot of tears on our ride home. We were supposed to take our babies home with us. It was so difficult to have to leave them, knowing that we wouldn't be right around the corner if they needed us. We knew that they were in excellent hands, but we still couldn't help but feel so torn inside. That was the hardest day of our lives. It helped to know that I could call and check on them anytime I wanted to. We quickly developed a routine of coming up during the day, staying for rounds, grabbing lunch, leaving them, going having dinner with Taylor Grace, and then coming back up at night. Before we went to bed every night, I would call and check on them. I'd talk to the nurse who had them. I would ask the same thing: how are the boys doing? Will you tell them that Mommy and Daddy loves them and that we'll see them in the morning? My calls never seemed to annoy the nurses, and we never felt like we interrupted anything that they were doing. They were always so gracious to us. We kept a journal that documented our struggles and the emotional roller coaster that we went through. Our faith, love, and prayers kept us strong. The nurses and doctors guided us through the journey with the utmost empathy, compassion, and the highest quality of care that we could imagine. They treated us like we were a part of their family, and we felt like they were caring for their own babies. They were honest regarding their conditions and what we should expect. They were compassionate and comforted us during the times of uncertainty and helped us stay positive and focus on getting our babies home. The boys sailed through their 31 days in the NICU without any major issues. We are so grateful to Columbus Regional, the NICU, and the people who contributed to the Children's Miracle Network. These nurses and doctors have one of the hardest jobs imaginable. They have to heal sick babies and, of course, deal with parents like me and Toby. We're so fortunate to have a place so close to home that makes these miracles happen every day. They are a blessing to our community and the surrounding area, and because of them, our story had a happy ending. Thank you.
Well, thank you again, Jamie, for sharing that. She said she didn't think she'd get through it, but she did a terrific job. Very well done, and what a incredible story of a month-long challenge and struggle for this family, and now they're blessed with just two gorgeous twins to go along with Taylor Grace, a gorgeous older sister who's got to take care of these younger babies and make sure everything goes well at home. So I'm going to ask Taylor Grace if she's kind of up to it with Mom. Nanny, yeah, y'all come on over to the light switch here. It's the moment we've been waiting for. Whoops, watch out, don't trip. We're going to turn the floodlight off at this point. We're going to get a drum roll from the Bob Bar Band. Everybody count down from 5, and we'll go 5 to 1, and at 1 we'll flip the switch. So everybody together, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Wow. Great job, Taylor Grace. Let's give her a great hand. What a great big sister, and she's going to be important in the lives of these the twins. So again, we thank Jamie and Toby for sharing their story, and for Taylor Grace and Tyler and Tanner and all the supporting cast family members for being here. At this point, we're going to let the Horton family lead us up to the conference center, where we will celebrate a special visitor who's taking time away from the North Pole. Again, we thank you all for being here this evening and continue to join us in the conference center for the festivities. Thank you again.